Yo, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, Steuben here, and today we're going to take a look at a deck from Astral Radiance, something that's super cheap that you actually might even be able to build now after your pre-releases have all concluded, and you crack some packs and you hit some holos and some rares and did a little bit of light trading. You might actually luck out and be able to play the new Regi deck. This is going to be really cheap in a lot of different ways of being fun, and it can do some pretty cool stuff, so let's take a look at it. So right out of the gate, we've got Regigigas, 150 HP basic Pokemon with the ability Ancient Wisdom. Once during your turn, if you have Regirock, Regice, Registeel, Regieleki, and Regidrago in play, you may attach up to 3 energy cards from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. So you get all the Regis in play, you accelerate all the energy from your discard pile, and for 5 energy, Gigaton Break, 150 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon VMAX, 150 more damage. Really crazy. So you're gonna rock 2 of these. I unfortunately only have 1, but you get the idea. We'll proxy it for now. Next, Regieleki. We're gonna play 2 different ones because I feel like with the way the meta is gonna go, we're gonna have a lot of Palkia and water in general. Most water is weak to lightning for the most part, but we'll get to that anyways. So we're gonna rock 2 of the Regieleki from Evolving Skies with Static Shock and Terra Spark. Discard all lightning energy from this Pokemon. This attack also does 40 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So you're going to hit them for 120 times 2 is 240. And also potentially soften up some bench Pokemon. We're going to rock 1 copy of the new Regieleki with Electromagnetic Sonar. Put a trainer card from your discard pile into your hand for the first attack. And then Targeted Bolt for 2 lightning and a color. Let's discard 2 lightning energy from this Pokemon. You snipe 120 one of their bench Pokemon. I don't see the sniping mattering too much. We might actually just cut him out eventually. But for now, we'll rock the 3 count here. Next, we've got Regidrago. We've got another split here. We're playing 1 of the Evolving Skies Regidrago with Hammerin and, most importantly, Dragon Energy for 240 damage for 2 grass and a fire. It does 20 less damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. But for the most part, you're going to use this to just like hammer in on some Arceus Vs or other basic V Pokemon and just take some good knockouts. The other Regidrago from Astral Radiance has Dragon's Horde. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may draw until you have 4 cards in your hand. You can only use 1 Dragon Horde ability per turn. Its attack is just kind of weak, 160 for 3. But yeah, you'll probably just pivot into this in between turns if they take a KO, and then reestablish your hand. We're going to rock 2 copies of Registeel. To note, before we go crazy, Registeel, Regirock, and Regice all have Regigate for their first attack. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon, put it on your bench, and shuffle your deck. It doesn't happen too often, but, you know, maybe going second, this could be stuck in the Akka. That might be your best bet. They all do different things. We'll go with Regice since it's in my hand already. But Blizzard Bind for 2 water and a colorless 100 damage. If the defending Pokemon is a Pokemon V, it can attack during your opponent's next turn. So if they only have 1 V in play, they don't have any switch outs. You can just lock them out with Regice. Regirock hits for 140 and cannot attack on the next turn with Giga Impact. 140 times 2 is relevant because it will KO an Arceus V or V-Star. And then we've got Registeel. Last but not least, Heavy Slam for 220 minus. It does 50 less damage for every retreat in their retreat cost. So, you know, a lighter retreat Pokemon, you're going to hit them for 170 or 120. But weakness matters pretty much here. You can actually get an Ice Rider with a belt and a Heavy Slam on it and take care of it that way. Also to note, too, is if, like, they play Air Balloon, and they have a 2 retreat, you're actually just going to do the full 220. So that's it for the Pokemon. On to the supporters. We've got 4 copies of Juniper, pretty straightforward. We've got 1 Peony. Discard your hand, search your deck for 2 trainer cards, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Peony's really good on a turn where Regidrago, the new one, is in the active. That way you can discard your hand, grab whatever 2 items you need to do anything, and then Regidrago can fill your hand back up to 4. Then we're going to rock 3 copies of Boss to be able to gust up and KO. Pretty straightforward. Next, we've got 4 copies of Stormy Mountains. You're going to be able to grab your Dragos and your Regigigas here every turn and bump out the Temple of Sinnoh. Temple of Sinnoh is actually a problem for this deck because we do have a lot of special energy. So you're going to want to be able to continuously bump that out and get the Regis in play. And again, like I said, I think Palkia is going to be tier 1, almost BDIF to be fair, and the Regigigas are really going to matter there. All right, on to some items. 4 copies of Quick Ball. Nothing really to talk about there for any established players. 4 Battle Pass. Normally, mostly to see this in Mew decks, but I think here, where you're really wanting to fill up your bench super fast, it matters. And of course, we're going to play with Battle Pass 4 copies of Cram. This also thins your hand down too, and lets you use Regidrago's ability to fill it back up. All right, on to some other new stuff. We've got 2 copies of Trekking Shoes. Look at the top card of your deck. You may put that card into your hand. If you don't, discard it and draw a card. This is going to help you find random little bits and pieces and discard a Regi you don't need or an energy card that you'll be able to accelerate with Regigigas' ability later on. We're going to rock 1 copy of Hisuian Heavy Ball. This is going to help you find all of these Regis out of the prize cards. Nothing too crazy, just feels really good to have a copy of it. All right, Math Fixers. Choice Belt. I'm going to play 2 copies of these. I think this really does matter because you're going to need to be able to put that onto Regieleki to hit for 150 times 2, which is 300 to KO a Palkia. You need to put it on Regidrago to hit 270. Regigigas will hit 300 if it's hitting into a VMAX. This makes it 330. Honestly, if we had a way to recover tool cards, I feel like that'd be really good. That isn't Roxanne, unfortunately. I'm sorry, not Roxanne. Roseanne's Research. So these are really, really important in a lot of matchups. So keep these in mind. Definitely try not to discard these with your Trekking Shoes or your Crams or your Researches or your Peony. Save these for when you know you need them for sure to get a KO. And another tool Math Fixer, we're going to play 1 copy of Super Effective Glasses. When applying weakness damage from the attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to, done to your opponent's active Pokemon, apply it as ×3. This is another out as well in the Palkia matchup, where 120 times 3 gets you there. It matters sometimes if it's like a situation with an Arceus and a Big Charm. Regirock 140 times 3. In a match against Whimsicott, if you can get your special energy in play, which you still can technically with Regigigas ability because you're not playing them from your hand, this will help you get there. So keep that in mind. Super Effective Glasses really does help also fix more math. Continuing on with item cards, 4 copies of Scoop Up Net. They're all non-roll box Pokemon. They all have really high retreat of 3 for the most part, except for Regieleki, which is a retreat of 2. Regigigas' retreat is a chunky 4. So Air Balloon doesn't really work here in this deck. So Scoop Up Net is going to be your pivot card. And again, most turns you'll probably see yourself pivot into the new Regidrago, draw some cards up, and go from there. To keep things flowing, we're playing 3 copies of Ordinary Rod. This will help you put back your Regigigas to be able to continuously use its ability, or say, for example, if you prize one of these guys and you can't find the other piece with a Hisuian Heavy Ball, or take it from your prize cards, Ordinary Rod will let you put it back in the deck and potentially get it back with Stormy Mountains or Quick Ball, or however you need to. All right, final little bit here. Energy. We're rocking 2 copies of Twin Energy. No need to play Double Turbo here because you don't want to reduce your damage output. You want to leave it as is. This is just going to help you accelerate for the most part for Regigigas. So we're only really playing 2 of them. That way you can hit to that 5 attack cost. If you can accelerate 3 energy from the discard pile and 2 of them are Twin Energy, you're good to go, honestly, at that point in time. We're rocking 4 copies of Aurora. You can only attach this if you discard a card for your hand, so that also accelerates, the Ancient Wisdom and thinning your hand down for Dragon's Horde. So it just works out pretty well. Get some junk in the discard pile, and this counts as any energy when it's in play. So it feels really good to be able to count this as your metal, your fighting, and your water. Because the only other energies we're playing are these. We've got one basic fire, one basic grass, and one speed lightning. Because we're playing 3 copies of Regigigas, you can attach this and draw 2. Feels pretty solid. I do enjoy being able to draw a couple extra cards that way. And then, yeah, just the fire and the grass, mostly for Reggie here. So you're able to grab the 2 of these in an Aurora or 3 Aurora and swing it with 240. So that's the deck list. Let me know what you think. It's a lot of fun to play. And again, it's relatively cheap. You probably already have all these cards. You might have pulled some of these from your pre-release. Like I said, I just need one more Reggie. But it's been a lot of fun playing this out so far. And I think it's got some cool matchups and some good potential. I don't necessarily think it's like top tier, but it's a cool budget deck. I definitely think you should take a look at it. And eventually, when it rolls out on TCGO, we'll refeature it again and get some gameplay for you guys over in a live stream. If you liked any of this stuff, if this is informative to you, helped you out whatsoever, hit this video with a like, leave a comment down below, and make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. That way you're able to get alerted when more videos come out to you. If you want to theory craft Pokemon card decks and other discussion, join the Discord server, link down below. If you need to get some PTCGO codes, check out Furionspokemon.com. Use code STUBIN for 10% off. They're some of the cheapest PTCGO codes already in the market. And of course, follow me on all the social medias. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok. Starting to get really active on all of those as we push towards 1,100 subscribers here on the channel. Keep an eye out for more Astral Radiance deck profiles in the future as I get some cards. And of course, a booster box opening probably sometime next week. But that'll do it for this video. Hopefully it helps you out. Hopefully you can have some fun with this deck list. Let me know how it treats you, what you think of it down below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.